Hey guys, Toastbomb here. And just yesterday, MLG released 12 new full gameplays of Halo 4, so for the next few days I'm going to be commentating over that. But I won't be doing any analysis type things where I rewind and pause and look at the little details that I noticed because basically um, I've pretty much been over everything that I can find for the build of the game that they're showing. So I'm not going to be doing that. But if you do want to see some of that, I already have that stuff on my channel, and I'll link you in the description. But topic for this video will be the thruster pack, and how I'm hoping it will function. So the thruster pack, we have seen it be used a little bit in the gameplays that have been coming out from E3. But I'm a little bit disappointed in it because when you use it, it's a little disorienting. Like, you use it, and it almost seems like you get lower to the ground, and your screen blurs, and you can't use your weapon, and it doesn't seem like you go very fast, or seem like you go very far. Um, so it's just kind of this mix of just weird stuff. Maybe it's something that you could get used to, and then it's totally fine. Um, but there's some weird stuff about that. But the main thing is that I still have a question about it, something that I haven't seen in any of the videos, is if you can use the thruster pack while you're in air. And if you're in midair while you use it, will you go like almost or horizontal instead of like losing a bunch of height? Because if you can do that, I think this thing has a lot of potential to have a lot of awesomeness in it. And a few examples I've thought of are, imagine you have a sniper. You're near a corner of a wall, and you know there's an enemy a far ways away around that corner, but he's coming for you. You hop around the corner, quickscope them. Now that can happen in any Halo game, that happens sometimes. You jump around the corner, you quickscope the guy, but then when you land on the ground, you're out in the middle of nowhere. You just jumped way out of this corner, out of your cover, and now the whole enemy team sees you. Now imagine you jump out, quickscope him, while still at the apex of your jump, thruster pack back behind the corner, and then you've gotten away. Just in a split second, you've just hopped out, poof, he's dead, and you're gone. I think that would just be super cool, and that could make some really awesome campy montage clips, and some really awesome potential MLG plays, too. Second thing that's a little more practical would be flag running. I think there could be some really unique flag running routes that people could find on some maps, kind of like the plat to green on the pit. But instead it would require a thruster pack, and you could kind of trick out the team, maybe even be a shortcut. You could do some really interesting things with that. Third thing, which I think would probably be the coolest thing that I've ever seen in a game ever, that could theoretically work, would be you ninja somebody, or you get like a double ninja. So, if you don't know what a ninja is, it's when you're standing somewhere, and an enemy is behind you, and they're running towards you. Right once they get into about melee range, you jump behind them and over them, and then you're behind them, and then you assassinate them. That's a ninja. Now, theoretically, you could get a double ninja with this. So imagine you ninja somebody. Right as you're going over them, they jump, so you're both in the air. You melee, and then assassinate them, and then thruster pack backwards. And then all of a sudden you're over another guy and assassinate him. That would be amazing. Just saying, that would probably be the coolest thing ever. So I really hope that you can thruster pack in midair and have it go horizontal. And another thing that I'm hoping that will change from how it is now is that you can shoot while using it. Because I think there could be some really cool applications to that. Like, you could almost use it as part of your strafe, in a way. Because basically right now, if you were in a fight, say you're playing Halo 3, and it's a really close BR fight, a lot of times what people will do is they'll jump to one side or another and do a thing called Gandhi Hopping. And basically what that is when you're in the air, you mash on your crouch button a whole bunch of times, and that makes your character kind of wiggle and bounce up and down in midair to screw up the opponent's shots, so you can't get that last headshot, and you can. One cool thing that you could do, if you could shoot while you're using the thruster pack, is jump one way and then quickly thruster pack the other direction, right? So you'd totally just juke out the enemy, because they wouldn't be expecting it necessarily. Or you could do it like thruster pack one direction and then jump. Or if you can just use part of your thruster pack, you could even jump one way, thruster pack a little bit to the left, and then thruster pack a little bit to the right, so you like zigzag. I just think there could be some really cool things that you could do, and I think the thruster pack holds a lot of potential. And as it is right now, where you don't go very fast, you don't go very far, you can't use your weapon, and it's a little disorienting, it just doesn't seem worth it, especially compared to the Promethean vision, which a lot of people have been saying in its current state, from what they've played, seems overpowered. And I'm expecting that will change a little bit, because right now people don't know how the game works exactly. They don't know traffic, high traffic areas, and they don't know the flow of the game or the flow of the maps. So once they get a little more used to that stuff, I think that it wouldn't be quite as overpowered, because they'd already know where people are going to be and they could predict all these things, which they can't right now because they just haven't played the game enough. But I still think it maybe needs a little bit of a nerf, have that ping go out a little bit slower, something like that. Because if you are playing an MLG game, teammates are communicating, you could pretty much pop that and call out every single enemy's position, and that just seems a little bit ridiculous. So maybe shorten the range and slow the ping, that pulse that comes out. I think that would help a lot. But right now, the thruster pack, even compared to some of the other armor abilities, just doesn't seem worth it. It doesn't seem like it really helps you at all, and just gets you into more trouble. That's about all I have to say for the thruster pack, but I did catch a few more tidbits of information that didn't make it into the other videos, of the other analysis videos. And one thing is that grenades, after you die, you don't drop your grenades, right? So this is a big change for Halo. Normally, you die, you drop your grenades, you spawn with more grenades, you die, you drop your grenades. And eventually, a few minutes into the match, you pretty much have infinite grenades, because there's just this huge oversaturation of grenades in the map. I think this is a good change, though, because they're keeping the grenades pretty powerful. So if there was that oversaturation of grenades, like what happened in Reach, it's just ridiculous, because you just have these nukes that you're just throwing around. But there is one of the armor ability tweaks. It's not the actual armor ability that you use, it's one of those secondary ones that are passive and are just always on, that allows you to spawn with extra grenades. You spawn with 3, I believe. And then also, if you walk over a dead body, you'll pick up grenades from that. So that seems like a pretty huge one if you want to be able to grenade a lot, because the grenades seem fairly powerful. They don't seem quite as powerful as Reach, but they definitely seem more powerful than Halo 3 for sure. Second little tidbit that I noticed is when someone's using Promethean vision, their visor glows. And it almost kind of looks like that guy from the X-Men who always has to wear the sunglasses, otherwise he shoots the beams out of his eyes. It looks a little bit like that. So that adds a little bit of a counter, I guess, to the Promethean vision. And I've heard that you will hear a sound when you are being shown by Promethean vision. But I've also heard the other way around, that you won't hear a sound when you're pinged by Promethean vision. So I don't know which way they're actually going to go about that. Maybe they're still deciding. I hope they do go with the noise, because it seems like that would be some useful information, so you know to maybe stay hidden a little bit if someone's seeing you with Promethean vision. Last thing is that traditionally, in the Halo games, if you're zoomed in with a BR, carbine, sniper, any weapon that can zoom in, and you get shot, you will get unzoomed. This is particularly useful against snipers because you can unzoom them, shoot them, get away, and it makes them a little bit less powerful. In this build of Halo 4 that they were showing, that was not the case. But it has been confirmed that that will be the case by the time it releases, because it just hasn't made it in, they haven't put that into the game yet. So that will be a thing, so don't worry if you notice that and you started freaking out. It's going to be in there. That's also, I think, maybe one of the reasons that a lot of people were saying the BR was definitely the weapon to use. It beat all the other mid-range weapons. I think that might be partially because of not having the ability to zoom out a person. So I think that will maybe make the AR a little bit more powerful, weapons like that, but we'll have to see and play for ourselves when the game comes out, which is actually pretty soon. So I'm pretty excited for that. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment, leave a like, favorite it, I don't care. But if you really, really like the video, you can subscribe because there's going to be a lot more of this Halo stuff coming down the line, and I'll continue doing these commentaries over these Halo 4 MLG gameplays.